Welcome back for this last part of the any percent tutorial. So as I mentioned, from here on, any percent and trending diverge. So this video is going to be about the last split for any percent, the Galvan split. And for the trending speedrun, you should check out the other videos of the playlist. So by beating Halfdan, we just got the axe, which is a very powerful weapon but also tool because it's magnetic, so you can jump with the cloak and it will push you like this. And we'll come back to that. So what we are supposed to do here normally is to take this wire back to the Teslatower and finish the climb of the tower and battle Galvan. But we cannot use this wire, of course, and we cannot use the same kind of techniques as we employed to come here, because this macroing technique, it still makes us lose height. And here we need to gain height. So we're going to do another technique which is a little bit complicated, a little bit involved, and requires practice. So if you don't want to have all of the difficult things at once, I will first show you how you can get an alternative strategy. It is longer, but it will allow you to get this wire. So the idea, and I will explain it in greater detail in the trending speedrun split for OmniBlink. So the idea is that there is a hidden wireblink item that was left in the game, and if you get it, you will be able to blink in the wires afterwards. And it takes around 1 minute or so, maybe a bit more, to 1 minute more to do it this way, but this will be easier. So I'm going to show that quickly. I'm not completely familiar with it, or not properly, so excuse me for this. But basically you need to go down here and so get past all those things and come here. Here you'll have to make your way to the item. So I'll come back on how to jump like this with the axe. For now, I just want to quickly show this. Quickly show this alternative strat. So it's for the record. But again, more detail on how to axe jump a bit later in the video, and more detail on this specific thing also in the trending tutorial. So here there is a wireblink, water blink, so now you see I can go in the water, and now the idea would be to go back where we were and take the wire. And to do that we also have to climb the mountain, and these axe climbs I will also explain better a little bit later in the video. So for now, just bear with me, I'm just showing how to do it. But the explanations on how to perform these tricks will come later. So hopefully I can still do it relatively fast. This might not be the best way to do it, maybe activating some wires beforehand can also help. Okay, getting closer. So you might recognize this place. Now we don't need to use the same stomp exploit. You can just use the axe, that's how powerful the axe is. And then you can just take this wire. So it's scripted, so if you enter you cannot leave it, so you have to enter from the left to the right. So you see I cannot leave it. But it will lead you to the tower, and then you can just proceed with the normal strats for the tower, which I will explain at the end. Alright. So that would be the alternative strat if you don't want to learn the complicated thing straight away. But now I'm going to come back to the strat we actually do in runs. Okay. So, as you could see just before, we can use the axe to jump with the magnetism, and not only to jump from the floor, but also to stay in the air, like this. And the reason is because when we throw the axe, it quickly acts as a platform, and so basically if you jump at the same moment that then you throw the axe down, you can jump from that. So you can stay relatively stationary, but then if you change a bit your timing and also do full jumps, you see that you can gain height. So this is quite a powerful tool actually, to back up some situations, for instance, or to gain height. But if we have to gain height and go to the other side of the map, it's very slow to just do this. So we need something to gain speed. And what do we usually do to gain speed? We slide. So it turns out that you can slide while jumping on the axe. Of course, if you do this in the air, you will stomp. So we need to slide beforehand. So see, I will hold slide, go in the air, and then if I do this axe jump, so disregard the boost at landing, this is not what I'm talking about. So there, you see that I got some speed to the left. So sometimes you get stopped, but like this, see, I'm getting some speed, okay? So that's good, that's what we want. And the thing is, as you could see already, if I get too much speed, then I will kind of throw the axe too far behind me and I will not be able to jump off of it again. So I'll show that again out of the cave for it to be clearer. But the idea is that when you have enough speed, instead of throwing the axe to the down direction, you will throw it to the diagonal direction. And if you don't have enough speed, as you can see, it doesn't really help. But if you have enough speed, then it will kind of go below you. And that's what we're going to use. Now the last ingredient is that we are going to use the macro to gain a little bit of distance, but also because if we hold the macro, it's like holding slide. So we'll use this rather than alternating between the inputs. We'll just macro and then hold the macro and use it to slide, and then we'll repeat that a bunch of times. Alright, so let's show this in practice. So when you come here, you can stomp on this slope because there's a wire, so you don't have the height requirement. So you would stomp here, for instance, and jump here to gain some height and do these axe climbs. So again, I'll explain the axe climbs a little bit better when we reach the tower, but this is what we would do. And if you miss them or if you fall down here, it's okay, you can just stomp from here and get back like this. So for these climbs, you want to push the diagonal down left and throw the axe. But again, I'll explain that a bit better later. So basically you want to arrive here. Be careful if you go too much to the left, like if you go to the next screen, it will bring you to the half-time arena, and you don't want this. So don't go too far left. Alright, so when you would start this, I advise to start from here, but when you're a bit more advanced, you want to get that little extra height with a stomp like this. The difficulty is that you don't see Lumina for a couple of seconds. So I'm gonna try to show how it goes once, and then I'll explain a bit better. But yeah, the idea is to alternate between this macro, then you would do 2 jumps, then macro, 2 jumps, etc. And what I usually do is that the first ones I throw the axe down, then it gives me time to see Lumina. And if I have enough speed, then I will switch to the diagonal down right. So let's show it first. So you see I'm holding the diagonal, but still the axe is kind of going below me. And then getting the timing is a matter of habit. And actually you can play with the timing to get different outcomes. I will explain that in a moment. But you can kind of monitor your speed by where the axe is going. So if it's going to your right, or really below you, or to your left. Also keep an eye out for the background. So here, like, we start to see these gray clouds, but we still don't see the wire. So that means I have quite a lot of height. That's good. So I should arrive actually onto the tower. So you'll see the camera is going to zoom in. And I arrive on the tower here. Great. Alright, so ideally you want to arrive at least here. But if you arrive on the tower, you can directly continue with the tower climb, which I explain later. Now, I'll explain a few more things about this traversal. And the first one is, so depending on the timing that you get when you jump, so if you jump like kind of at the peak of your height, or you wait a little bit to fall down, it will give you a different speed. And so basically you can exchange speed for height. So you can gain more speed than what I had, but you will not gain as much height. So you need to adapt a little bit so that you don't arrive too low at the end. Especially you want to avoid the small peaks, because if you die to them, you will restart from here, from the Halfdan cave. So let me actually display the speed on screen. So at first it will be a bit hard to see because it's white on a pale background, but when the clouds arrive, you should see it better. The kind of rule of thumb is that if you start to see the wire when you're arriving at the dark clouds, that's when you want to start to slow down and to gain more height. And to slow down, you would try to do the timing a bit faster, so to jump a little bit to jump again off the axe a little bit sooner. The other thing you need to pay attention to is that there is a cooldown on the axe too. So it will happen that if you do it too fast, you might not throw the axe. And I will explain how to do it to back it up. So, but let's try to have a look at the speed first. So if you wait too much, you will gain too much speed. If you don't wait enough, you will not gain enough speed, basically. Oops. Okay, so, well, good time to show how to back up. So you see, I can just keep calm and just, do the macro and start over again. So now I will not have enough height. I will arrive lower, so I will explain how to back it up. But see, the speed I have like something between 16, 17. Here I am at 15. This is not very fast. You can get between 18 and 20 with a very good rhythm. So here I'm a bit better. So it really depends on when you throw the axe. Alright, so let's explain how to back it up. So here you see I'm arriving there. So sometimes you would arrive a little bit higher, you may arrive here. So from here you can back it up with axe jumps, just be careful. This wall is a bit slanted. And again, you don't want to die to the thorns, the spikes. And from here you can also get up. I think you can get some better boosts with these corners, but basically you want to reach that wall. And the nice thing is that from here there is a corner that you can grab here, just here. So if you are just a bit too low to make it above here, just go below the spikes. Don't try not to die, just go below it and grab this corner here. Now here be careful. So you can enter here, go a little bit to the left of the wall before sticking the axe down and jumping, and hold right, because you can still touch the spikes on the left. And here from this side you would do it again, and again be careful, so jump up, go left and blink. Something like this. And once you're here you can grab this corner and you're in the right place. Alright, so that was the backup in case you arrive a bit too low or you miss some inputs. So let me go back once again to this other side. So this strat is now much more consistent than it used to be before I actually run this route, and this was a major difficulty, and the fact that we can now use this technique is one of the reasons why I started to use the route. So I will just repeat that if you for some reason or another miss some input or like do it too late, you can just, so if you're at the start, just restart it, but if you're not, just macro and start over, like regain your routine and the sequence of inputs. So say here I wait or I miss one, I can just do it again. So sometimes you may have too much speed if you have a lot of falling speed and you do it, so it might stop you, but it might also boost you, so it may be a little bit hard to adjust. Alright, so it was not intended that I go to the Sky Hub. Okay, so let's do it one more time. I will try to do it this time like a bit faster and arrive close to the spikes, and or rather to be fast and a bit low and then adjust the timing. Because we've seen a high one already. Actually, it's not a fast one. But say if you start to arrive here and you start to see the wire, it means you're a bit low, like this. So you would start to increase a bit the timing to gain more height and less speed. So you can again monitor your speed by how Lumina throws the axe. Here I'm going to be close. Oh, I missed. Okay. Well, that's a bit unfortunate, but... So I've shown the backup already, but yeah, you could see that I was getting a bit close. So I will try actually to... Maybe that's going to be complicated. I really don't want to die. Okay, let's try one more time. And then I'll proceed with the rest of the tutorial. I hope you get the idea. This is a lot of practice. But first, try, do it with some height so that you're safe. And to be fair, even in my PB, current PB, which is 10:51, because I had such a good pace up to that point, and I really wanted to get sub 11, then I played it safe on that. I didn't try to grind for too much speed. I just wanted to gain enough height so that I would arrive without a risk and don't panic. Okay, so now let's try to slow down a bit. Actually a bit low. So in a run there, since I'm that low, oh, that's risky. Okay, so here I was really low. You could see I could barely go over the spikes. Maybe in a run I would try this, but knowing that I would reset, or I would go for the below the spikes and do the backup. Alright. So now the next part is the tower climb. This is just as before. So what we want to do is to climb this tower from the outside like this. So once you're kind of close to the tower, you can just mash the axe and you should stay close. Hold diagonal down right to do this. And then we arrive to the top top part, which I will explain. The other thing you can do, if you're not getting it or if you're going further away from the tower, is to use the macro or like do a stomp cancel manually, and then when you hit the wall you would throw the axe like this. So I do it manually there, but you can also do it with the macro, because the macro, you see, when you do it you stay a little bit stationary vertically, and that's when you want to throw the axe like this, right? So I mean, holding the right direction also. So you can use that to back it up. If you go too far here, you can use the axe jumps and the macro to stabilize, so that you don't have to restart all over again. And then you can just use this to start the climb again. Alright, so when you arrive around the top here, so you want to go around this corner. So either you arrive somewhere here and then you finish with the axe jumps. You want to reach a spot around here. So around this place here, this last corner, or at the height of the platform there, this will be enough to trigger the checkpoint. So if now I go to menu and I open again, you will see that I am on the other side of this door, which is actually the fastest thing to do now that we don't have power slide. So because we can just proceed, and this beam here is already activated. Alright, so let me just go back to the other side. So if not, what you can do also is just to so if you get a good one, you can go around this corner and jump above that thing, and to destroy the door from the outside you would just slide. But then if you do this without reloading, you will have to push the button that's there at the end here to activate the beam. So this is why actually just reloading is kind of faster. And here I also want to explain that to move away from the tower, what I usually do is to aim for a macro or stomp cancel axe climb around that spot. So you can see on the wall there's a kind of lighter spot, more or less where Lumina is now. So this is the place I'm aiming for. But then you can also do it on those parts of the wall. It's just a little bit tricky sometimes. So let me show that once again. So you see, no problem, I'm falling, but I can back it up like this. So the place would be around here. And you see it works pretty well. But I'll try to show on the sides if I can. So like this, you see on the sides you can also do it. So that's for the tower climb and the axe climbs in general. So the last thing we need to do now is to beat Galvan. And so here you would just, usual slide, jump, blink as you can. Here, try to use the axe to gain a bit more speed. So what I want to show before going into the arena is, actually let me just be stationary like this. First, just as a kind of joke, and you can do this without the mod, but you see, if you go to the outside, you can see that Galvan is already painting. So he's quite enthusiastic. The other thing is, when you go up and you reach around that place, you want to try to skip a couple of split seconds of the cutscene, the triggering cutscene. And what happens is that usually you will have a lot of vertical speed, and then you will fall back down onto the floor, and when you touch the floor, this triggers the cutscene and the start of the fight. Around that place horizontally. So we want to try to make that shorter, and there are a few ways to do it. One way is to try to stomp when you cross the floor here, so that Lumina will stomp and be already in the right place on the floor. And for this you want to be around that position. Another possibility is to go more around this position and then do a macro to the right or a stomp cancel. And this will bring you to the right height also. And this one, if you miss it, because the stomp one, if you fail, you will just fall back all the way down, which is not that great. This one, you can back it up with some axe jumps. So let me actually try to show this, and then I'll have to explain a few things for Galvan. But first, let me show, just save the state here. So I will have to do the Galvan fight several times. So I'll just proceed, but I'll show several ways to get into it on the different attempts. So here I will try with the stomp. So something like this. And I'm already in the right position to trigger the fight. Alright. So how does this fight work? You have to hit Galvan 6 times in this first phase. The first position will always be the same. It will always be this one to the right. So you have to hit him with the axe. And usually you're supposed to use the wires to reach him. But now we can't, we don't have wireblink. So instead we'll have to use again some axe jumps to reach him. The 2 spots in the bottom, they are fairly straightforward. You just need to throw the axe up basically, or do a jump. The one on the left here, it's a little bit higher up, but it's also very manageable with the jump and throwing the axe, or an axe jump. This one, which is the next highest, this you need like 1 axe jump and then throw the axe up, and this will reach him. For the last one that we cannot see on this screen, up there on the left, you would need probably 1 axe jump, then 1 air axe jump, and then throw up. But also, you know, I will show other strats. So let's just try to get going. So you would jump like this and try to go to the next location as soon as you can. So even before he goes to his next location, or I know where he's going to go, I'm already starting to jump with the axe. So that then I can adapt, but I'm already in the air. Also, if you hit him fast enough, he will not spawn the Drogger, which makes the fight a bit easier. So here you see I'm up, but he's going to the right, so I'll try to use the macro and some axe jumps to reach this place. So I missed a little bit because I paused, but so, okay, from the ground you see it's 1 axe jump, and then it's okay. From here also, be careful with the attack. So he's doing the same pattern again there. So I'm not gonna hit the last one because I want to show it again. But another thing you can do is to do the regular axe climbs on the sides to gain more height, and you can stick the axe like in the bottom and get some boosts. So here it's a bit complicated with the Drogger, but I hope you get the idea. So if you don't manage just jumping with the axe, you can also use these walls, invisible walls kind of, on the side of the arena to gain more height. Okay, so this time I'm going to show the strats with the macro. And if I do it a bit too low, you see I can just axe jump and get it back correctly. Although now I don't have the axe, so when I go to the right, I will recall the axe before hitting Galvan. Maybe I had it already. So there, okay, so this is the easiest spot here. I would like him to go on the top left, if possible. So you see here, just throwing is not enough, but you can do that. Okay. He's not going there. So you can also do that on the left, of course. As you can see, I will try to show, if I can, the thing from the corner. He's a bit annoying. Like, if you stick this thing right in the corner, you can get some heights. I'm not very good at this, as you can see. It's okay if I die. I would like to show the last spot, so... It's RNG where he goes. And you see, if you're not fast enough, he will change, so... let's just try to get the top left position. And then we'll move to the second phase. So you see, oh, I missed him, okay. just trying to stay in the air. Come on, go to the left. You can also do some diagonals with your throws. Oh, come on, Galvan. Finally. So from here, from the ground, you see, I need to jump once, and then at least one jump. And the first jump was... come on, I'm not getting a good first jump. Okay, this one was okay. So this one could have reached if I was aiming better. What I can do also, especially if he comes from here, is then do a macro and axe jump, and then it should give you enough height. Alright, so let's now try to have a clean fight and move to the second phase. And maybe he'll give us a pattern that we haven't seen yet with the top left place, and this will be good for the illustration. Okay, so you see here, I'm already there, I can do this throw. Also here, like that. Oops. Okay, he didn't really want to go on the top left spot in this one, but I hope you get the idea and how you can navigate these places. Really, the highest one was the hardest one for me for a long time. Okay, so now we're reaching the second phase. And for this second phase, I'm going to explain before doing it. So we have to hit him with a stomp. And this will be the final hit and the time for the run. And we have a few techniques there to get it more or less fast. So just know that he's acting like a little platform. So if you're just above him and you stomp, it will not trigger the stomp. But if you're high enough above him, it will. And if you're kind of on the side or just below him, you can also trigger a stomp and it can hit him. So first, let me show like the old strat that I was using. That's kind of safe. So from here, from the start, you will go to the right. I mean, it's the same to the left. I'm just more used to doing it to the right. So you go to the right, you would blink, put the axe down where you are, and then continue to go to the right, slide and push the cloak. Oops, I forgot to put the axe. Maybe now he's gonna kill me. Something like this. And here I jumped, I think, for some reason, but if you do it properly, you will gain, you will be in the right spot like this, and you will go above him and you can hit him as you wish. Okay, so the second strat you can do is when you start from here, you would go to this place here, put the axe and jump like that. So here I'm just going to try to not die. So you see I could reach his height. So you have to gauge a little bit. So here I could stomp and kill him. You have to gauge a little bit the jump and the use of the cloak, because if you just keep the cloak, you will not go next to him, right? That's how this boss works. But it's somewhere in between. And finally, the fast strat when you go out of the cutscene would be here. So you would push down right, do the macro and then do an axe jump. Sometimes it doesn't quite work, but you have time to try it twice, basically. So something like this, and here I'm almost there. Oops, I'm gonna die maybe. Let's try again. So I was almost at his height. So something like this, and then you can stomp and even stomp from his height. And that would be time. So that's it. We have defeated Galvan, we have completed the any % run. That was quite dense. There are a lot of things in that run, especially this route, the Huldrless route, has quite a lot of difficult tricks. So if you're just starting the speedrun, I would not advise to start with this route. Start with something easier, with Huldr, wireblink and stuff. I have the other playlist, But in general, just come and talk with us on Discord or something. We'll be happy to help and to provide some advice on what to do. And then when you're a bit more comfortable, when you start to know the controls a bit better, you can give a go to this Huldrless route. And again, we'll be very happy to help. So as of recording this, the world record is by Luster in 1050, and my PB is a 1051. So you see that we can reach sub 11 times, but this is really, I mean, it's not completely optimized, but these are really good times. So at first, if you have even a few minutes more than this, don't be ashamed. That's completely normal. We went through this. And we reduced the time by training and by discovering new tricks and chatting with each other. So I think that's a good time to give a huge shout out to the whole community of the speedrun and also the people around it. So come join us on Discord, the link will be in description. And of course, if you enjoyed the tutorial, I'm really happy that it could help. If you want to know about the trending one, check out the other videos. And finally, I want to give some credit to Rain Games, of course, for creating this game. So that's it for the Any% tutorial. Thanks again for watching. Stay tuned, explore the other content of the channel, and have a good one. Bye!